Did you know that the most famous bronze knight in the world could actually be a traitor to the realm of the gods, who gave up his immortality for the love of the goddess Athena and humanity? Seiya would actually be a celestial angel who descended to Earth, and this will be revealed in the Heavens Saga. Hello, Amazon Knights. Welcome to another video here on the Sempre Quis Saber channel. I'm Wes, and today we're going to explore a theory that's blowing the minds of fans all around the world. Let's talk about the true and hidden nature of the soul of our dear Pegasus Seiya. So go ahead and comment what you think about the official Heaven Saga. Get comfortable, grab your popcorn, raise your Cosmo to infinity, and let's get into this awesome video.
Sempre quis saber.
To start understanding this amazing twist that could happen in the Zeus saga, we need to revisit the official story and the chronological records of this fantastic universe, both in the classic saga and in the official spin-offs. Since the dawn of time in the mythological eras, Athena and Hades have fought a bloody war for control of the earth. This cyclical conflict became known as the Holy War. In all these eras, a young warrior wearing the bronze armor of Pegasus appears to protect the goddess of justice, achieving miracles that defy the power of the gods themselves. But the big question is, why is the Pegasus saint so special? Because among the 88 armors created by the people of Mu, the Pegasus armor bears the burden and the glory of wounding the real body of the Emperor of the Underworld. The answer to this question begins to take shape in an extraordinary way when we look at the celestial essence of this lineage of heroes in the historical records of the Holy Wars. Hades himself recalls with hatred and fear that in the mythological era, the only human capable of breaking through his divine defense and wounding his mortal body was the ancient Pegasus saint. However, before that, the soul of this warrior was condemned to reincarnate eternally every time Athena returns to Earth. Nevertheless, this narrative hides an even greater secret. What if this warrior, the original Pegasus, was never an ordinary human? What if his origin is far loftier, coming directly from the home of the gods? Yes, my friends, Seiya is actually an angel from Olympus. To understand the magnitude of this story, let's analyze the fundamental information and the profiles of the characters directly involved in this cosmological plot. Using official franchise material, we can draw incredible parallels regarding their origins, powers, and destinies. In the current era, we have Pegasus Seiya. In the 18th century, we had Pegasus Tenma, and he has two versions. The canonical version, which appears in Next Dimension, and the spin-off version, which appears in The Lost Canvas. Before Tenma, we have records of the first Pegasus Saint. He also has two spin-off versions. The first was introduced in the game Saint Seiya Online, and his name is Pegasus Rodorio, the saint who founded the village of Rodorio, which is located near the sanctuary. The second version of the first Pegasus Saint was introduced in the manga Rise of Poseidon, and his name is Pegasus Seikshin. But even before these warriors existed, there was an original Pegasus, a celestial being who lived with Athena on Olympus. Now that we have an overview of the characters and the forces in the Saint Seiya universe, let's get straight to the main point of this extraordinary revelation. The first big clue about Seiya's true identity is given to us in the work The Lost Canvas. Although it is considered by many to be an alternative or complementary timeline, the spiritual concepts presented there magnificently expand the mythology created by Masami Kurumada. In the narrative, a shocking fact is revealed about the origins of the mythological Pegasus. The first Pegasus was actually an entirely celestial being. He was not born in the world of men. He lived in the divine realms of Olympus. However, moved by deep compassion and love for the goddess Athena, who had decided to descend to Earth to protect humans, this celestial being made a radical decision. He abdicated his immortality, his divine status, and his celestial purity to become a human being. He willingly chose to enter the cycle of mortal reincarnations, samsara, accepting that he would suffer, bleed, and die throughout the ages, with the sole purpose of reincarnating repeatedly alongside Athena in each of her holy wars. Thus, this is the beginning of the story of the Pegasus Saints. The soul of Pegasus does not belong to the earth. It was shaped in the divine realm itself and chose the fall to become Athena's sword. This choice explains the unwavering determination of Satanas, the reason why the Pegasus Saint is able to manifest unbelievable miracles and surpass the power of gods like Poseidon, Thanatos, Hypnos, and even Hades himself. It's not just human willpower, it's the awakening of his ancient hidden divine nature. Seiya's soul remembers on an unconscious level when he walked among the gods on Olympus. Another celestial being who was a servant of Athena and also chose to reincarnate as a human is the owl. The owl's mission in the Lost Canvas was to reincarnate close to Pegasus and take care of him so that he would grow up safely. In the 18th century, the owl is called Partita and is Tenma's mother. If the revelation in Lost Canvas already seems fantastic, the original creator of the work, Masami Kurumada, consolidated and validated this idea about Pegasus's celestial origin, providing definitive clues in the official continuation of the story, Saint Seiya Next Dimension. This is where the missing piece of the puzzle is finally put into place. In the Next Dimension saga, we are introduced in more detail to the structure of Mount Olympus and the warriors who serve the Olympian gods. When the mighty sun god Apollo makes his majestic appearance crossing the skies with his divine chariot that brings the sun and the dawn to the world, an impressive detail about his escort is revealed to us. Apollo has celestial angels at his service. We learn that there are 3 main angels who guard the sun god, not counting the famous Toma of Icarus. The so-called Angel of Sleep was Apollo's 4th angel, later turned renegade and was punished by the gods, imprisoned in the Temple of the Moon with an iron mask before being sent to Earth. The crucial point here is the biological and spiritual ability of these 3 angels of Apollo. It is revealed in the work that these celestial beings possess the extraordinary power to transform into winged horses. They change shape, taking on the exact appearance of divine Pegasi to pull Apollo's chariot of fire across the firmament. Follow this line of reasoning with me that changes absolutely everything we knew. The angels of Olympus have the intrinsic ability to take the form of winged horses, the celestial Pegasi. The original mythological Pegasus was a celestial being who decided to leave Olympus to become human and protect Athena. The soul of this celestial being reincarnates from era to era in the form of the bronze Pegasus Knight. Putting together these facts presented by Kurumada, the conclusion becomes inevitable and crystal clear. The first original incarnation of Seiya, the Pegasus from the mythological era, was precisely one of these celestial angels. He belonged to the same class of divine warriors who today serve Apollo and Artemis. This explains why his guardian constellation and his armor represent a winged horse. It's not just a tribute to the creature from Greek mythology, but rather the physical representation of the true spiritual form that Seiya had before choosing to become immortal. But to make this narrative even richer, we need to try to understand what led an angel from Olympus to commit the greatest act of rebellion against Zeus and the other deities. In the universe of Saint Seiya, the gods look at human beings with extreme disdain. For the inhabitants of Olympus, humanity is an imperfect, violent, and sinful creation, deserving of punishment and destruction. This way of thinking is shared by Poseidon, Hades, Artemis, and Apollo. Athena was the only deity who saw potential in the love, hope, and kindness of humans. For this reason, she decided to descend from Olympus, reincarnate in a mortal body, and actively fight against her own divine siblings to ensure the survival of Earth. In the mythological era, Athena announces that she will leave the realm of the gods to live among mortals. The young angel, whose spiritual essence was linked to the form of Pegasus, had such deep devotion and love for Athena that he refused to let her leave alone. Knowing that, as an angel, he could never interfere directly in the world of men without Zeus's permission, he made the most courageous and tragic decision of his existence. He defied the divine laws of Mount Olympus. He stripped himself of his immortal spiritual wings and his glory, which is the armor of angels. He accepted the spiritual fall, banishing himself to the lower world of mortals. He was reincarnated as a human baby, beginning the legend of the Pegasus Knight. By doing this, he became the greatest traitor in the history of Olympus, in the eyes of gods like Apollo. To the gods, Seiya is not just an insolent human who dares to raise his fists against the deities. He is a deserter, someone who turned his back on the divine statues to crawl in the mud like mortals. This adds a layer of drama and immense psychological depth to the story. When the gods look at Seiya, they don't just feel anger toward a strong human. They feel a deep hatred directed at a traitor of their own kind. With all these clues cleverly scattered by Masami Kurumada in Next Dimension and the foundations laid in the Lost Canvas, it becomes clear that this entire fantastic story is being prepared to be the trigger for the Heaven Saga that has just begun. The Heaven Saga promises to answer all these questions and finally establish Pegasus as the most unpredictable and spectacular force. Kurumada has given us all the pieces. Now all we can do is wait for the moment when Seiya's Cosmo will echo through the universe once again, showing all of Olympus the power of the angel who chose to be a man. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and share your theories about the origin of Pegasus in the comments. And of course, thank you for watching until the end and see you next time. Burn your Cosmo to infinity.